Hi, I'm Angela. I am currently part of ATeam and I'm working with two clients, specifically with my partners. I do podcast editing, reels for social posting. And then I'm also working with Shally Steckrell. Started with doing podcast communication for him, basically organizing, finding guests, doing communications and scheduling. And then we expanded the role to be more in depth with operations as well as assisting in sales and marketing. So I actually have a wide range of, I would say, I have a wide range of skills that I can help clients or founders with, specifically admin operations and a bit of marketing, especially editing videos, even podcasts, and as well as calendar management and communication. I think one of the biggest bottlenecks, not just for one client, but most clients, especially founders that I've worked with in and out of ATeam, is that there are processes and systems in place. It's the reinforcement and execution that's sort of missing. They have it in place, but because everything seems to be urgent, everything is important all at once. I think that's a common problem for many founders, especially, of course, with the founders that I have worked with and I'm currently working with. I know that sounds very vague, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are looking for virtual assistants per se are looking for people that can strengthen and implement that. So one of the things that I did, it wasn't really like a big solution kind of thing where it was like life-changing some sort, but it's more of a structured end-to-end workflow that basically remove decision fatigue at every stage. What basically needs to happen and what I am helping with is that clients need to start working on the business instead of in the business. So my role is I need to take as much as I can off their plate so they can start focusing on the bigger things about the business. And that is basically implementing the workflows, strengthening them, and enforcing them into day-to-day basis. Specifically, if we're going to look at the specifics, for example, with podcasts, people would think that the big thing about it is, or the important part of the podcast is basically shooting the show, right? But a lot of details and intricate things happen before we get to the climax, say shooting that specific episode. So what I do and where I insert myself is we look for guests, we schedule them, we communicate with them, we send them prep notes, we make sure that the podcast host and the podcast guests are aligned with topics that they want to discuss during the video call, during the podcast recording. And then after that, also handling post communication, say when this is going live, or if there are things that we need to check in with specific guests, for example, maybe there are some things that they want removed from the podcast. So there's a lot of things that happens in the background. And that's where I mostly insert myself, which takes a lot of time if founders or clients themselves do it. So basically helping them out with those nuances can give them back their time to focus on bigger things. Again, make them work on the business instead of working in the business. I know that clients, or actually most clients, would have systems in place. Where I help and innovate that is, and I think this is very specific with working with Filipinos, a lot of foreign nationals would think that we are very hospitable as people, and that reflects so much in how we communicate. So innovating messages, basically making them more friendly, more conversational, especially in the world where everything is AI generated. It's important that we insert human touch to these things. I know that this sounds very simple, but these things are often overlooked when we just need to get things done. So having inserted myself in those processes involve human touch to these things, especially with communication, that eventually, strengthens rapport, strengthens relationship, strengthens personal connection with people we're actually talking on the internet, exchanging emails, LinkedIn messages, even exchanges on LinkedIn. But yeah, so that's basically like the more detailed of where I do and implement developments. But basically, so for example, let's talk about how podcast goes. So the process, we basically have established processes where we inserted proper cadence, when to outreach, when to send responses, when to send confirmations, when to post these teasers on LinkedIn, when the scheduling is, what kind of tools are we using so it's easier for podcast guests to look for available, for example, scheduling or calendar slots. Are we using Calendly? Are we using Google Meet? Are we using Google Calendar? So those kind of tools. And then for content production, basically suggesting also tools that can ease up production. What's the more effective tool in creating, say, reels? And then of course the release of those recordings, post communication as well to clients, and then creating and scheduling of post recorded content on LinkedIn, Instagram, or whatever socials your clients are using. So this is my favorite part. For one specific client, when I came in, so there's already podcasts that are going out, and we have scheduled guests for at least like 2 weeks ahead. Because we established this specific process of like proper cadence, outreach, who are our target podcast guests, when are we publishing this, yada yada. So when that process has been established, we were able to create is not the proper term. We were able to produce scheduled guests until May this year. And that started in January. So basically, we're giving them 6 months worth of time that they don't have to think about communicating, finding guests, or scheduling them, because that's already laid out. Now we can move on to other things that are also important, that might be, that's worth their time as well, and can help the company's growth or their business to grow even more, because this one thing that has been taking up so much of their time has been taken care of, and that's good for 6 months. And it doesn't stop there, because we're always, moving on to the next month, until we're all filled the whole year. Let me walk you through. This is basically one of the system that we're working on for a specific podcast for one of my clients. So I have here the months. Again, as mentioned, we have it laid down until May this year. So dates are here. It's very simple. What's important is it's very easy for the eye. It's very easy to the eye. It's very easy to understand, very easy to digest. One look and you get everything. So you have the date, the name, the status. I have here drop downs so I can also monitor where they're at, what the communication is now, where are we in terms of stages of like uploading or being recorded, yada yada. What's important? I have been working as a virtual assistant for over 8 years now. I've started with ATeam since it started. So before that, I was already a virtual assistant. And the difference is that it is more, how do I say this? I feel more confident working with foreign clients, knowing that I have an agency that protects my best interest and the client's best interest as well. The management itself is playing a very good role of being the middleman between the virtual assistants and the clients themselves, communicating what the client needs, finding the best and partnering them with the most fitting virtual assistant for their needs again. And I think one best, if I can romanticize what changed with the clients that I am working with is, again, my personal, the way I look at it is, and my personal goal working with clients and having to work with a team is, I want to be the person that allows them to work on the business and not in the business. So again, that is taking as much as I can off their plate, assisting where I can showcase my skills the best. Again, that is, to me, that's operations, that's marketing, that's communication. And yeah, I think that is, and making the business feel more intentional and less reactive, with the way we communicate, with the way we, because everything is branding, right? The way we talk to our clients, the way we talk to our clients, the way that we do our job. So yeah, making it more intentional, making it more humane, is what I think my impact is working with clients. In terms of lifestyle, there's a lot that changed. Again, because I have an agency, and this is in no way taking advantage of the fact that there is an agency that protects my best interest as well as the client. But having an agency allows you to explore projects that you can serve best. What I mean is, ATeam helps virtual assistants like myself to find projects that I know I can excel and help without feeling like it's your regular 9 to 5. It's really not your regular 9 to 5 at all, but you're able to have time for yourself and have that allowance to live and work at the same time. And I think that's a huge impact. So working with Filipino virtual assistants has been a thing for quite a few years now. And a lot of foreigners or foreign clients are actually enjoying and loving the service of Filipino virtual assistants because, again, we are warm people. We're very hospitable. But it's not always the best experience. And I acknowledge that. There's a lot circulating online about this and that of their experiences. And I couldn't say it will always just be good. But having an agency like ATeam, which again is very helpful in finding virtual assistants that are fitting for what you're looking for. They do a very great job of like matching clients to a virtual assistant, and having them as your partner with looking for people like myself is an advantage and a protection to if instances like this occur. I'm not saying it happens a lot, but it's good to have that safety net, and ATeam provides that for foreign clients that are looking for virtual assistants like myself. And for virtual assistants, and if I can add more to that, it's the fact that working with Diane Prince and the rest of ATeam, there is so much intention that it's very intentional. There is so much intentions that comes into the work, which is why, again, they do a very great job with matching clients with virtual assistants, because it doesn't only just have to be someone that can do the job, but someone who can do the job and put tender love and care to it. I think that's what ATeam does. And for virtual assistants like myself who are looking for agencies or who are working independently for the longest time, it's life-changing to be in an agency, honestly. It's the fact that this is very personal though, but working with a team and having people in the management that actually listens to how I think and feel about the projects at hand, especially when I need help, when I need assistance, when there are things I can't communicate myself. It's very helpful that I have a team as an agency because they bridge that gap for me. And having someone, in this case, an agency like ATeam, bridge that gap is very crucial in client management, in maintaining my reputation, and in finding more jobs. And this is not the bonus part. This is the most important part. They help you find clients. They help you find jobs that you can excel in. And having an agency actually allows you to achieve that work and life balance that you wouldn't usually find in a normal Filipino corporate setting.